So you guys know August 1st, we're going to be getting a ton of information for Modern Warfare's multiplayer, but the one thing we're probably not going to have any information on, which is probably the most important part of the game that people are talking about and we won't know until release or maybe even after the release of this game, it's the microtransactions. And arguably the microtransactions, the supply drops, and the pay-to-win aspect of Black Ops 4 that has now turned into pretty much ruined the game for so many people. So obviously people are worried. They don't want this same microtransaction system that we're seeing within Black Ops 4 that has supposedly been tested on Black Ops 4 to also be used within Modern Warfare. They don't want that same system in Modern Warfare, so it's a huge deal and everyone is wondering, Modern Warfare, how are they going to implement microtransactions? Because before we even start the video, I think we need to make it clear Activision wants revenue, they want money, and that's that. Now, Infinity Ward, they want their revenue and money too, but I think especially with Modern Warfare, the original developers coming back from MW2, a bunch of these guys, creating this game that's realistic and gritty and different and just, true to the fans, they just want to make a good game. That's what it seems like, and that's what it looks like they're bringing us, but they still need to make some money. So we're going to be seeing some sort of way for us to spend money within the game, but it's the real test to see, is it going to be pay to win like Black Ops 4? Are all of the DLC weapons, camos, and content pieces going to be behind, supply drops and these paywalls? That's a huge deal for a lot of people, and Infinity Ward developers, directors, you could see the great thing about this year is that they like a ton of different tweets, and when they like these tweets and they tweet out cryptic stuff, they're directly hinting at one, what they're thinking, and two, at what they're planning or talking about or discussing for their game. So we're going to be going through a tweet here that Taylor liked. Obviously, you guys know Taylor from Infinity Ward. I'll put it up on screen. Taylor liked this tweet. Let's hope they do justice to this game. So here is the tweet that Taylor liked. The only thing I want from #Modern Warfare is for the game to be not filled with microtransactions like Black Ops 4. I know companies exist to make money for a project they make, but microtransactions shouldn't be everything. I truly hope this game can be the best it can be. So the reason why that's very important is because usually these developers and anyone that works at Call of Duty, especially the past couple of years, they try to just ignore it. And you see, Vonderhaar and all of these different guys at Treyarch, you know that they're being worked by Activision. They're now working on Black Ops 5. They're being worked tirelessly and endlessly. Vonderhaar is complaining that he's not getting enough sleep and he's having insomnia. He's talking about this on Twitter right now. But you never see them directly, mention or like anything or hint at anything regarding microtransactions. They sort of just let it happen. This time around, it's very different. Taylor is directly liking a tweet of someone saying this game hopefully is not going to be like Black Ops 4. Hopefully this game is not going to have all these different microtransactions like Black Ops 4. So him even liking the tweet is such a huge deal because we know that he is at least acknowledging that people do not want this and that, he might actually make a decent effort to make this game sort of fair in some respects. So let's go through all the different possibilities that people have been talking about. So one, Infinite Warfare and also Modern Warfare Remastered was way more consumer friendly than I think he means Black Ops 4 here. Each developer has some say in how they design their microtransaction system. I'm hopeful. So that's true as well. Activision obviously pushes these companies to make these microtransaction systems, supply drops, etc. But, as we saw within Infinite Warfare and MWR, it wasn't that bad, and a lot of people have been saying it's one of the fairest systems we have seen within Call of Duty. So if they do something any close to what they did with Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, definitely not perfect, but if they do anything like that, it's a drastic change and a step, in a better direction from what we see right now within Black Ops 4. Next thing here, as of the current situation with loot boxes, I'm in doubt they're even daring to include them within Modern Warfare since they're subject to become illegal or just a legal hurdle. Microtransactions will be existent, no doubt, but the developers themselves are predominantly responsible for the implementation of microtransactions. So this is a thing that might actually happen, and apparently Activision has been looking at the possibility that, loot boxes will be seen as illegal. Different European countries and also in the US, they've been starting to draft legislation to actually ban these loot boxes, and Activision is getting prepared because it's a possibility that it might actually happen. So I think, they're definitely going to add them in to some extent, but they'll just remove them if they do become illegal. But also Infinity Ward has, again, that right to say, you know what, we don't want these loot boxes within the game. We'll get you guys your money, Activision, but we're going to get you guys your money through a fair way and will make it so, these players will want to spend money on this game, and therefore you will get your revenue. Because honestly, I think for the most part, the Call of Duty community, and let me know down below if you agree with me, we don't mind spending money necessarily on Call of Duty. It's just the fact that when we feel like we have to, that's where it sucks. So, when there's a weapon, a DLC weapon behind closed doors, behind a paywall, behind supply drops where you have to buy endless supply drops and you don't even have a guarantee of getting a weapon, then that sucks. But I remember back in COD Ghosts, you could buy a weapon for like $5. You can buy a camo for $3, and if you didn't want it, you wanted it, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I think that's such a huge thing, and that's such a good thing. I mean, if you want it, you can get it. If not, whatever. It's not a big deal. People will spend money if they want to spend money, and since it's such a fair system, people won't feel ripped off and they won't feel bad for spending the money on the cosmetic items that they want. But if you turn it into pay to win and you turn it to this whole convoluted system, people are going to be annoyed, and it's going to suck. It's going to ruin the vibe of the game, and then it's just not going to be a good thing. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys agree with me there. I think that's pretty much the consensus of Call of Duty fans, and we'll have to see how Infinity Ward handles it this time. So next thing here, this guy was going through this fight with some other guy on Reddit, but pretty much the main thing here is the middle sentence. He pretty much says, why would the original developers back from MW2 come back to this game, come back to Call of Duty to work on Modern Warfare after such a long time, just to have Activision ruin their game with microtransactions? There's just no way they would do that. They came back for a reason. They came back to pursue this almost passion project that is Modern Warfare, and obviously they're not coming back if they know that Activision was going to screw them over, and obviously they have some sort of plan in place, it seems like, that the microtransactions, at least the system, will be drastically different to what we see within Black Ops 4, and if that was the case, and if it was the same as Black Ops 4, most likely these guys wouldn't bother coming back. They would go to EA, they would go with, Michael Condrey's new studio, they would go to other places. So that's a pretty good point there. Here is actually the opposite. Someone saying Activision won't let them, pretty much saying that, Activision won't let them just completely remove microtransactions. There's millions in season pass revenue to recoup. Anyone who thinks differently is delusional. That's actually a pretty good point. I mean, the fact that DLC maps are free, and I don't know if they said all post content is free, but that's what it seems like they said, and that does make sense, but I think they're just going to go all in on the battle pass model. So pretty much you're not getting a season pass, the DLC maps are free, but you're going to have a battle pass reoccurring every couple of months, maybe even every month, where you're going to have to spend a certain amount of money to get that battle pass for the month, and then you get all the, cosmetic items within that battle pass. So hopefully, I guess they're thinking that they're going to recoup their money in that way, but we'll see how exactly that works. So someone also asked in this Reddit post, do you think we will get any details on how the microtransaction system will work on August 1st? Unfortunately, look, we are not going to see, I'd be surprised if they actually mention anything regarding the microtransaction system, but I think for the most part, Activision's going to make sure that Infinity Ward does not say anything regarding this game, and I think that's actually for a couple of reasons. So, one, I think Activision is still trying to figure out what they want to do with this game and how they want to implement microtransactions, because we know that they're testing microtransactions within Black Ops 4, like certain types of microtransaction systems within this game, within Blackout, to see if it'll work for Modern Warfare, so they're not even so sure what they're going to be doing. Now, two, I think Infinity Ward, as we talked about earlier, Taylor liking that tweet, I think they have good intentions, and I think that Infinity Ward, if it was just their decision, they would tell us on August 1st, alongside the reveal, how exactly these microtransactions will work within Modern Warfare, what exactly you're going to be getting, what the supply drops will look like, if there will even be supply drops, and I honestly think they would be pretty upfront and honest about it. So that's a pretty cool thing just to think about, but Activision, there's no way. They're definitely holding them back. So maybe, again, if we don't see it on August 1st, we'll get some information very soon, and they'll just be upfront, because honestly, them hiding it, them just keeping it under the radar. Treyarch, Black Ops 4, didn't they say that there wasn't going to be any sort of pay-to-win stuff? I'm pretty sure along with the announcement, they said it was all just going to be cosmetics only, and they just completely lied. And Treyarch, these developers as well, I mean, it is Activision's fault, but it's also Treyarch's fault. They lied to us. They didn't tell us that we were gonna have this pay-to-win stuff, and at least be honest about it. At least say, like, this is what it is. And the fact that they weren't honest and they lied just completely sucks. So, like I said, again, Infinity Ward, hopefully they have good intentions, and, you know, they actually just tell us what's going on here. Hopefully they don't have this pay-to-win stuff, but I just highly doubt that we're gonna see anything August 1st. So that's pretty much it. Those are all the possibilities right now with Modern Warfare's microtransactions. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a comment below MTX if you watched the whole video. I'm really scared. I mean, this is the one thing that's almost completely out of our control. Like, this game could be so good. The multiplayer could be so fun. The campaign could be so, you know, realistic and actually interesting for once. And I don't know. I just don't want it to be completely ruined with microtransactions. It's like the one chance to bring Call of Duty back, and if they ruin it, oh, it's gonna be so sad. So I'm scared, but hopefully, you know, this works out. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, I'll see you guys later.